Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sotoye Kelechi Muzi, aka Soti Baby, Soti Mama, Soti Special, Soti Sprinkle, Soti Spicy, Soti Light. So this year we are in July already. It's crazy, right? Because I remember January, I remember crossover night, I remember New Year's like it was just yesterday. And at the same time, it feels like it's been a whole year. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it's been a lot this year. And I've learned some lessons, I've achieved some milestones, I've improved, I've done some amazing things. And there's a specific lesson that I would like to share with you. And I feel like it might help someone or might change your life before the year runs out. Okay. If you're interested in that video, if you're interested in what I have to say, please keep on watching. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, like this video, and share with your friends. All right, let's get into it. So guys, like I was saying, the year has gone by so quickly. At the same time, it's been a bit sluggish and a lot of things have happened. People have lived, people have died, people have, their life has changed in the twinkle of an eye. So many things have happened. But the most significant lesson I've learned so far this year that I wanted to share with you is the power of silence, okay? The power of keeping your mouth shut, the power of knowing when to speak and when not to speak, the power of knowing when to share your news, knowing when to share your congratulatory messages, knowing when to say, oh, I'm starting this project, I'm doing this project, and whatever the case may be. Okay, let me give you a scenario of how a person, let's say an individual, she was kind of obscure in her environment, in her workplace, and all of a sudden she did a few things. People started noticing her, people started, appreciating her and saying, oh, well done, good job. And all of a sudden, someone who was like behind the scenes, regardless of whether she was doing her work well or not, comes to the limelight and becomes a bit popular. And she's now like, oh, the go-to person for certain things. She's now the person who, the office calls for. If I want to recommend somebody to travel somewhere, or if I know that this deadline will be met, if I give this person this work, she will do it. She's the person for it, right? And all of a sudden, she's excited. Somebody that didn't think that this would be her, right? It's like, oh, I was going this way in life, and then somehow it turns into another way. And she gets excited. She tells her friends, she tells her family, she tells her colleagues, she goes on the Instagram and shares it and shares it and shares it. And all of a sudden, the trajectory which she was going is clipped, it's cut short. And it's like, wait, I was going this way. How come I'm now this way? It sounds familiar, right? It sounds familiar, like you started a project, you are building a house, and you tell everybody that this is what you're doing. You tell everybody that this is the project you're on, this is what you're embarking on, and all of a sudden, the resources that were coming forth are not coming forth anymore. Or you have friends who you share things with, right? You think this person is your actual friend, right? You tell her everything about you. You tell her all your likes and dislikes. Okay, you tell her where you've made mistakes, you tell her where you've gone wrong, you tell her everything, when I mean everything. And then all of a sudden it's almost like she's copying your life. The things you say, the ideas you share, the business plans you share with this person, it's like this person is carrying it and executing it better than you. Okay, it's almost like because you spoke about whatever it is that you want to achieve, or whatever it is that you have in your head, somebody else copies it, right? This power of silence is something that the social media era has taken away from us. It's like almost like every little thing you want to update your LinkedIn profile. Oh, I was selected to do this. I was spoken here to do, because you need people to know what you are doing. You need the accolades, and you think that it will help you get more opportunities, and that is a possibility. But I feel like when you prematurely, not even feel like, I know that when you sometimes prematurely speak, when you speak before this food is done, imagine claiming that this jollof rice is so sweet, it's so sweet, because you tasted one side of the sauce. Meanwhile, you have not turned it properly, it has not cooked properly, and in your mind you're excited, right, that this thing is going to make sense. When I give my husband, when I give my friends, when I share with everybody I want to share it with, it's going to taste delicious. But you spoke prematurely because you didn't wait for the seasoning to settle, you didn't wait for it to balance. And so when you now scoop that rice, you're like, wait, the salt is not enough. Oh, the tomato didn't fry as much as it should have. Oh, this happened and this did not happen. Speaking prematurely can truncate the trajectory, can truncate the good and the things that you were meant to achieve. It can cut it short, and it has for a lot of people will tell you this. Okay, sometimes apart from even truncating, your goals and your visions and your destiny or whatever it is, it can bring in envy. Okay, it can bring in premature envy. The truth is that no matter what you do, people are going to envy you. Okay, no matter what you say, no matter how you are, people are going to envy you. People that wish to be like you, people that are angry that you're having the opportunities that they did not get. Okay, people that feel like they're better than you, or feel like you're stepping on a pedestal that they don't have, that the only reason why you are going where you are going is because you have a platform that you can step on and they don't have that. Okay, the thing is that premature envy again can lead people into your business that they should not be in. They shouldn't have even known that this kind of thing was happening. Okay, they shouldn't have had an inclination that this thing was happening, because sometimes envy means that they're going to throw you under the bus in the office. When you want to speak up, they're going to speak ahead of you. When they are recommending in that room, they say, oh no, this girl, she's too proud. Oh no, this girl is too this. Oh no, they will find a way to ruin what you have planned. Okay, that is what envy does. That is what jealousy does, especially in the family, in corporate life, in whatever it case may be. So sometimes you just don't talk. I don't blame African mothers and African parents when they used to hide, or when they would tell us to hide when we're traveling, or when you're going for any occasion or anything like that. Because like when you open your mouth and say, that's when they know how to put their eyes inside your business. Okay, that's when they know how to put their mind. When they know how to cook that soup and how to call the village people and the village local witches and whatnot to say, okay, this person wants to travel, let's go and cause something to happen that they don't travel. So what was the point I'm making? I said the first thing is that you can prematurely cut it short, and then you can invite envy. Okay, the third thing I think is that sometimes you can be overconfident with your achievements. When you start to list, sometimes it makes you confident, it makes you complacent, it makes you want to rest on past laurels, it invites some sort of mediocrity. And it's a bit conflicting, it's a bit, it's here and here, that point. Okay, because of course when you see that you have achieved so many things, it can push you to do more. But sometimes when you achieve things too quickly, or you achieve things and you set out this go, and you've done, sometimes it makes you want to add more goals. Other times it's like, you have arrived, you don't need to do a lot more, you don't need to do anything, you have sat, you are there, so there's no need to push. Okay, and so sometimes even to yourself, you've achieved something, keep it to yourself. Keep that certificate, keep that goal, keep that thing, and just keep it to yourself and push. I feel that we are oversharing, me inclusive. I feel that we are, I get it. I understand it. This is the era we're in. You understand why you want to talk about your marriage. I understand why you want to talk about your family. I understand why you want to talk about, your kids and your promotion. I understand why you want to share that script from the roots of, because you worked hard for this. Okay, you worked hard for the promotion. You worked hard to get your kids where they are. You worked hard as a mom, as a wife. You want to declare it. Your marriage is thriving and you want to share it. But sometimes we need to know when to say, okay, wisdom and discernment tells me I don't need to speak at this point. I don't need to share this particular video. I don't need to say this. Oh, I need to check what I'm saying here so that I don't cause further, problems. And I think the last and final point, this video is not going to be a long one. It's just point. The last and final point is something my father taught me. He's like, no matter how good you are, if you appear better than your superiors or those who have come before you, be careful. They're gonna. Okay, he made a point. He told me when I was younger that when you have certain advantages, okay, maybe privilege from you, maybe your education, you have privilege from your dressing, okay, privilege from your finances, maybe you have a good car, you have money and all of that. In the workplace, in corporate environment, even in families, or any environment where there's some kind of competition and there's hierarchy, be careful how that comes across to your superiors. Although you might be working hard, you might be You might be excelling, you are the top of the field, you are the one, you are the go-to person. There are some people who are senior to you that will do everything within their power to make sure that you don't thrive, to make sure that you don't succeed. And sometimes it's nothing that you have done, it's no fault of yours. If you have a good car, are you going to hide the car? I don't know if you're going to hide the car, but if you dress well, if you like to look good and dress well, are you going to make sure you look wear rags so that people can feel better about themselves? I don't know what the answer is, but the truth is that even apart from my father telling this, I have a friend who was doing so well. She literally had to hide the fact that she was driving a Benz to work because her superior was driving, I can't remember, whether a Toyota or something. But she got a Benz as a gift, as a wedding present. I think it was a wedding present or a birthday present or something. A very nice, classy Benz. And every time she would drive that car to work, she would get looks, she would get side glances, she would get different things and that. And it's almost like, how do you can't even really perform. And even when you do that, they just feel like, oh, it's because you had access to funds or you had access to connections and network and all of that. So the thing is, so even in that silence, even in that bringing yourself down a little bit, sometimes you just have to do it to move ahead in certain scenarios, in the corporate world, in the business world, in those kinds of environments where you have something to prove and you need to work for it. You need to show that it's you and all of that stuff. So the summary of all these things that I'm saying is that silence and knowing when to speak and when not to speak, when not to keep quiet, knowing when to raise your voice, when to raise your hand, knowing when the argument, even if you're going to win the argument, you let that person go. It doesn't take away from your intelligence. It doesn't take away from your brilliance. It just allows the person puff themselves up and enjoy their inflated ego. Not taking anything away from you. It doesn't take anything away from you. You don't always have to be right. You don't always have to prove that you're right. I don't know if that makes any sense. You don't always have to prove that you're right. You don't always have to exert yourself. I'm fond of if I'm in an environment and I don't speak, my body can be scratching me. I need to say something because more often than not, I have an opinion on things. I have a thought to contribute. I have Basically, I want to hear myself speak because I like to hear myself speak. But the truth is that it doesn't always come across as intelligent, as I think it is. Sometimes it rubs people up the wrong way, especially with my tone and my assertiveness and the fact that I'm very confident in what I'm saying can rub people up the wrong way. And they're like, who is this person? Why does she think she knows everything? Why does she always have to speak? And it's even worse when you're always right. Okay, it's worse when you're right. And the truth, another truth, especially in the corporate environment, when you have a good pedigree, when you have certain privileges that the commonplace don't have, they will target you. Okay, so you have to know when to pick your battles, when you speak, when not to speak, when to keep quiet, and when to allow them just roll on and on. Let your work speak for itself. Don't always, show that they are the main chick, you're the main character energy. But on the flip side of all this, it doesn't mean that you should dumb yourself down. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't speak when you need to speak. It doesn't mean that you have to keep quiet all the time. I just think that you have to really be self-aware of the environment on when to speak, and it is a very important lesson. It has cost me speaking before something has matured, speaking before it's my turn to speaking ahead, even in environments where, let's say, you are the favored person, right? Maybe people like you and they call you into groups and like meetings and stuff like that where they're talking about other people or where they're assessing things. Sometimes, even though you think that you are part of that group, careful when you speak because they will quote you and they are using it to assess you, what you think, what you are saying, all of those things. So this video, literally, I'm filming this video just to share this, that maybe it will help someone. Sometimes you're wondering why the things that you want are not coming. The Bible tells us to write it down, make the vision plain, so that you can run with it. Write it down, let it see, speak, ask the Lord for things. But the Bible is also telling us to be careful about when we speak and how we speak and what we say. Okay, so I hope this video helps. I hope this video brings shed some light into what I've been dealing with, what I've learned, and I hope we understand and learn from this the power of silence, the power of knowing when to speak, when to keep quiet, when to also speak up, when to raise your hand, when to contribute in certain scenarios, when to allow the argument just flow. Argument is argument, okay? There are always going to be 2-3 sides to a specific argument. You don't always have to win. You don't don't always have to be right. You don't always have to speak over people. You might be a type A personality, but you don't always have to walk over people and push people over just because you want your voice to be heard and your opinion to get out there. Sometimes, no, keep quiet and let people just be. Okay, I'll see you guys in my next video. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, like this video, subscribe, and share. Mwah. Bye.